Hi, in this short video I'm going to show how to create a survey or a project team assessment using Google Forms by Google Drive. To start, launch your internet browser and go to google.com/drive. And you should be taken to a page that looks a lot like this. Next, click the Go to Google Drive button. If you haven't logged into Google in a while, you may be prompted to authenticate. Once you've authenticated, your Google Drive page displays, and click the red New button in the upper left-hand corner. From the drop-down menu that displays, go down to More and then select Google Forms. The first thing I want to do is give this form a title. So I'm going to change this from Untitled and call this Project Team Peer Assessment. In the form description, this is a good place to include instructions for the students on how to complete the form. Once I've included instructions, then I can begin adding questions. The question title is actually the prompt that you want the students to respond to. The first prompt that I'm going to put here is to have the students provide the name of the peer. Next, I want to select a question type. The question type for this response is text. And because students must require the name of their peer, I'm going to make this a required question, and then click Done. Now, the next question, the student's name, is very similar to the question that we just created. So we can simply hover over this question, then go to the Duplicate button, which duplicates the question, and just change the title. So for this, we want it to be your name. We want to leave it as a required question, and then click Done. Now we're ready to move on to the scale type questions, where 1 is poor and 7 is excellent. We start by clicking Add Item, and we give the question title the name of the first scale type question, which is availability and responsiveness. Next, we need to choose the question type. So from the drop-down, we're going to select Scale for the question type. We want our scale to range from 1 to 7, so I'm going to change this to 7. And for the labels, I want 1 to be poor and 7 to be excellent. And I want these to be required questions also, so I'm going to check this box here and click Done. Now I want to create the other 6 questions of this type. To do that, I hover over the question and I click the Duplicate button. And I just change the question title each time. And then click Done. And I repeat this process over and over until all 6 scale type questions are done. After the scale type questions are done, I want to add an area for the students to provide lengthy comments, or lengthier comments than just a small text box like this. So I go to Add Item, type Comments for the question title, and this time for question type, I'm going to select Paragraph Text. This is not a required question, so I'm going to leave this blank and then click Done. And finally, I want the students to provide a proposed grade based on their peers' contribution to the team. So I'm going to click Add Item. I'm going to type the question title. Then from the question type, I'm going to select Text. And this is another required question, so I'm going to select Required Question and click Done. When the form is complete and you're ready to see what it looks like for the students, in the upper left-hand corner, you can click View Live Form, which opens a new tab or window and displays what the form will look like for the students. When you're ready to go back to editing the form, you have a couple options. You can either click Edit this form, or you can close the tab or window and go back to the window where you were working. Also, once the students have completed the project team peer assessment and you're ready to view the results, you simply come back to this form through google.com/drive and click the View Responses button up here in the toolbar. Google generates a spreadsheet based on the students' responses. This concludes this video on creating Google Forms.